Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Of course, I'm Tanja from Adventures for Connection, and I have some exciting news. Today, we are also live on LinkedIn as well as Instagram. Hello, Instagram and LinkedIn. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tanja Powell, and I am a soul having a human experience in this avatar, as I like to call it, and that my purpose for these conversations is to share wisdom, energy. I have a bit of a mission to help humanity realize that you are so much more than your thoughts. You are not the one speaking. You are not the one thinking. You are the one observing that. I work with cosmic energies. Some like to call it quantum energy. Some like to call it Reiki. And I work with these energies to send out healing vibrations. I use my voice as a frequency or a vibration that connects with others. And a lot of the time I'll get people reach out and say, I had to reach out. There just was something, the way you said it was important because it triggered a remembering in me. And so that's really what we're here doing. I like to say we're all connecting and walking each other home, so to speak. So there's so much more to this story, but I'd like to keep it a little bit simple for today so I don't overwhelm anyone. Do tune in for this Sunday for our conversation with John, and we're going to talk timelines, vibration lines, the dimension that we're in right now, and some really fabulous things that are going on. So know that we are entering into a new transition point, a new opportunity, a new way of operating. And so some of you may feel this. We did have a full moon with a partial eclipse last night. It was a super moon, so very close. We do have more moons. There's many more moons. So we'll talk about that on Sunday, and we have more suns as well. So yeah, it's a really, really, really amazing time to be here. And despite all the current chaos in the world, your perspective can shift everything for you. So you have a choice. For those of you that do know me, please hit the thumbs up and the like button, or even if you don't, you're called to, and share with whoever this may resonate. Today, I would really love to open up the chat. So if anybody has any questions or specific things they would like to work on, we can incorporate that into our conversation today. And yeah, Andrea is saying it's been a rough day today. Absolutely. Many are struggling in this time and space. You're having rememberings, your old memories are coming up and triggers are happening for you as we clear our systems out. And this is really a gift, even though it doesn't feel like it when you're in it. Once you get to the other side of it, you will begin to feel it as more of a, that's why that was happening. I get it now. And so we have this thing called the hindsight window, that when we perceive back on things that happened in our lives that we felt were really traumatic, and maybe took them and flung them over our shoulder and packed them around with us for a while, only to drag us down further and further. And then one day realize, I don't have to hang on to this anymore. I can let it go. Thank you for the lessons. And remember that person that you were at that time was doing the very best they could. And with the information that they had and the circumstances that you were in. So have compassion and gratitude for how far you've come. You've come so far. If you look back on the last 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, have you not shifted and changed? Are you not a new person now? And when you look back at those pictures, maybe you're like, oh, who is that? I know for myself, every day is a new day and a new opportunity to show up differently, to choose how I'm going to operate for the day, to choose if I'm going to react or I'm going to wait and actually respond to a conversation. So you do have a choice, and you are the only one you can control. You can't control anyone else. Your expectations of others are leading to disappointment. And so I highly recommend putting yourself first, falling in love with you unconditionally. Who are you? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What brings you joy? What did you do as a child that really, really lit you up? What really lit you up? I know for me, I love to set things up. Didn't matter what game it was, whether it was kitchen or I would play cars with my brother. I had a really good friend when I was like 11, 12, and she had these figurine horses. They were the shit snick. I love those things, but we would set them all up. And then once it was set up, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. So I learned that about myself. I'm a bit more of an architect. I like to I don't like to be in the minutia. I like to be top down and have a different perspective and, organize and set things up, but not be the worker bee per se. Not that I don't step in and be one, but I am much better suited to assisting others become the very best version of themselves. And that's what we're doing at Adventures for Connection. We do guidance. We don't dictate. We don't even like to teach per se. We give information like I am today, and you take what resonates and what works for you, and then leave the rest. And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay too. It's not going to resonate for everyone. I know many people tried to tell me many things in my life around spirituality, consciousness, and I just didn't get it. I wasn't there yet. And that's really okay. It's important to be accepted right where you are, and that is part of it as well. We meet you where you are, and we have a couple different packages. You can also work one on one with me. And then, of course, we do these lives so you can get to know me before you would ever choose to work with me. So, absolutely. Jesus horses. Yeah. In our Telegram group, which is down below, there's a beautiful fellow that I connected with from Hungary in a Zoom live on another group's membership. And he has the most amazing stallions. They're so beautiful. I was like, whoa, dude, you're living in like a little slice of heaven, right? Horses are prey animals and they're such gorgeous souls and they're free for the most part. They're incredible. They're incredible. I have a real affection for them. Did you know that when a human being sits on a horse that our root chakra connects with theirs? And so you have this deep connection with horses. It's a meant to be kind of situation. Absolutely. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Shay. Yes, we can work on lungs today. Absolutely. I'll get that started here in a second. Healing is here. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome, love. And then over on Rumble, hello, Fancy. Hello, Tango. Hope you guys are doing well. So it's great that I can see those. And I'm just seeing, oh, there we go. There's little Missy Moo over on Instagram. Hello. Hello, Roseval. Hello, Trinette. Italian design. Beautiful. Welcome, welcome. This is our first time over on Instagram. Yeah, I finally figured out how to set it up to my wonderful assistant, Nikki, who is a rock star tech person because it wasn't intuitive and easy for me to do. So I'm super grateful to expand, um, yeah, to just share. And so while I'm doing these healings, and you're all healers, by the way, you simply just must ideally be balanced, be in a good space, have your own cup full. I literally nap right before these 15, 20 minutes so that I'm in a really beautiful space when I come in, that I'm not rushing in the door, that I've taken some time for me. And yeah, that's important. So, and the first thing about being a healer is that you learn to heal thyself, which is part of this get to know thyself, right? Get to know yourself. Body dosing is one of the ways I teach people to get to know themselves. especially connecting with their body and their dislikes and likes. We talk a lot about the breath. And let's do a little breathing right now, if you don't mind, as I activate the healing, and if you wanted to activate too. So we're just going to breathe in and out of the nose. For when we breathe in and out of the nose, it's like a Fibonacci, which is that sequence we see everywhere in nature. As you breathe in, it captures the inside of your nostrils, and then hold for a second, and then again out through the nose, and it comes out on the outside. It's very cleansing. And you want to push your belly out a little bit, and you can pause at the top and at the bottom. So do it again, please. And then breathing out longer than you breathe in. By doing that, you calm your entire vagus nerve. It'll bring you to the present moment. It's a little tool in the toolbox that you can use anytime, anywhere. And if you're able to close your eyes and relax for this, that would be great if you're able to. And then I always operate from my higher heart and my heart space. So I get out of my head and into my heart. And I rub my hands together. Activate, please. And I can already feel the energy coming in. It generally comes mostly in from the left and then out with the right, or you can use both hands. Do you remember as a child that when you had a tummy ache or a headache, your mother would put her hand there? Because there's chakras on your hands that do this healing. So if you're not feeling well, if your lungs are sore, Shay, and you're purging, so to speak, I call all dis-ease in the body purging. It's your innate system doing its job to eliminate that which is no longer any good. I'm just going to bring everyone in and ground. Get everyone nice and grounded. And you can just keep breathing gently out of your nose. You can choose to keep your eyes open or closed. And again, if you had something specific you would like worked on, please let me know. And we can also call in a few angels, which I consider angles of light. And whether or not you believe in angels, it just doesn't matter. And call in some healing chambers. I don't believe in being confined to any one model of teaching. So I tend to take what resonates. If I do take a course, and I haven't taken one for some time, I just keep giving bits and pieces of information. I'm like, oh, let me try that. And somebody else say, where'd you learn to do that? Because that's this. And I'm like, it just came to me. And so that's what's beautiful about this. When we limit to what we are taught, it doesn't leave us open to learning more. So always, you have all the information you need. It's more of a remembering. We've done this before. Yeah, done this before. We know this. We just need to remember who we truly are. So we're just going to do some work on the headache. Anybody with any head trauma or headaches? Taking the energies coming now in through the top of my head, and I run them through my heart and then to my hands. I always tell you what I'm doing. There's nothing I can do to hurt or harm you. You may feel some gurgling of stomach. You may feel some energy moving. And we're also at the same time working on the lungs as I'm breathing. And I'm literally sending like cosmic love to everyone. You may feel warm and fuzzy. You may burp. You feel a little tingle here and there. And for you specifically, Andrea, drinking some water and getting a little, if you can, Celtic salt into you. If you have coconut water or lemon water, get some electrolytes back in there. I've been doing coconut water mixed with spirulina, chlorella, wheatgrass, fish collagen, a little sea moss, a little mushroom, which is I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's one that is for skin and better than hyaluronic acid. So better for skin and tendons. That's one of the mushrooms, starts with the T, and then a little methylene blue. So I drink some pretty green drinks. My daughter's like, "Ew, what are you drinking now?" It's like a running joke in the house. "What's Tanya drinking now?" But I just dose everything and then combine it, choose to combine it or not. And we have Kathy over in Rumble. Yes, I can help you with that, Kathy. Yeah. So digestive system issues are pretty rampant at the moment, quite honestly. It's our bodies are adjusting. So if we consider that more light is coming in, we're in the photon belt, there's photons around us, more photons. Earth is vibrating more, the sun is sending solar flares, the moon's sitting closer. And so by bringing all this in, our bodies, remember, we're mostly water. We're vibrating more. And so anything that needs cleaning up in your system, all symptoms are going to start to push to the surface to be released. With bowel issues, I'm always going to say parasite cleanse. And then if nobody has done, any parasite cleansing or organ cleansing, and I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm just sharing my experience, that parasite cleanse every 3 months on average right now in this time and space, and at least once a year, a good organ cleanse. Remembering that each organ is also connected to an emotion, energy and motion. And so I can also uh, have a quick look at I've got a metaphysical anatomy book that I really truly adore, and digestive issues have a specific emotion connected to it, and I'm not remembering it off the top of my head as I'm working on this right now. Absolutely, Laura's looking for some right hip. Yeah, that would be your masculine side. Emotions trapped, are they yours? Yeah. So we carry a lot in our hips, especially as women. Uh, that that's where a lot of stuffed down emotions tend to go. And if we've injured our hip, that is usually another indication of. And so being really kind and loving to ourselves, and this goes across the board, being very kind and very loving to self. Get to know who you are. Do things really kind for you. Have a beautiful bath with candlelight. Put on some nice music. You can dance to music if it brings you joy. What can you do for you that really is self-nurturing? Maybe it's a cup of tea, maybe it's a walk outside, maybe it's sitting down by the water somewhere and just letting the water wash your worries away. Realizing that the only moment that matters is this one right here, right now. For when we're worried about the past, we get depressed. And when we're concerned about the future, we have anxiety. And when we're trying to control others, that's just a downhill spiral right there. So even your children, they're all souls having their own experience. Doesn't mean you're not going to guide them. But when you expect them to do things the way you always want them to be done, unless it's harmful for them, it's good for them to learn. I always gave my daughter choice, especially when she was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She didn't have fuller autonomy till a little older, but she's gone through, like, a lot in her little life, but has thanked me so many times for letting her be who she is, even if it meant her needing to go through something that maybe wasn't that pleasant. It's given her a lesson now in this space and time, and she can carry that now with her for the rest of her life. I'm Jelly Belly. I wish I knew all of that at that point. And so, again, if you're just stepping in, we're doing some energetic healings today for those things listed. It's interesting. I don't see LinkedIn on here. Bum, bum, bum. Let me just pop on and see if there's a way for me to look at that too. And then I will follow up on the rest of the comments. All right, there we go. Way for me to look at that. All right. Perfect. So I should be able to see the comments now if somebody is over on there commenting. This gets interesting. I'm a bridge, just so everyone knows. I bridge really well. So this is fascinating for me to be bridging like this. Saint Germain with the violet flame, Shay. Always Saint Germain with violet flame. Yeah. And I do something else which may or may not resonate with some of you, but healing chambers. And then for each person, color will come in. And Shay, yours is violet, so that was also done. Andrea, yours is green. Absolutely. There's a few people on here that are very connected energetically and can see things. So Shay is one of those souls. So she's asking me. Yeah. And just take some deep breaths, and you can also take, you can take a color for wherever you're aching. So I'll use Shay as the example because I know Shay well. In your lungs, imagine that violet flame, that energy, and then it's going out and expanding. And especially for tight hips, for intestines, and we'll go through each one of you, and I'll give you some extra little tips. So for the lungs especially, there's a lot of grief in lungs. That's what I'm being shown. It's a lot of grief. It's letting go. Yeah. Shay, you have to remember, please, that we see and we know you and the soul that you are. Stay present. Trust you. Trust you. The reflection outside of you will change. So when you work on your vibration and then you send out a higher vibrating frequency, you will get more of that back. If you're sitting in the lower level, so if we look at Hawkins' stages of consciousness or emotion stages, and anger is very, very low. I'm not saying anyone here is angry, but as you move up through the scales and you get up to unconditional love, and the highest one being authenticity. So I always say authenticity and grace, to always be very kind, very loving. Absolutely. And so for you, Shay, with that energy happening around your lungs and expanding that further, and anything that's coming up around grief for you, especially at this moment while we're doing this together, is to be able to maybe do some ho'oponopono around that. And for those that don't know this Hawaiian prayer, and it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And in doing that, and every word you're saying is casting a spell. It's why it's called spelling. So be very careful of your words and your thoughts, because that's creating action as well. And everything you do is creating your reality. That we have to forgive ourselves, because quite often we do the shame and blame game with ourselves. And to remember that, again, we did the best we could in the circumstances we were in. Oh my gosh, I look back at so many things in my life and I'm like, wow, if I knew what I knew now. That's not the way it goes. We continually learn and grow and expand our consciousness. Yeah. That's good that you don't feel a lower vibe. Good, then it's a final cleansing? Yeah. Now you may have picked up a little something too, I'm getting. Yeah, yours is an all energetic. Yeah. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, physical as well as emotional discomfort, grief, stress in my life. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of chaos happening, so things are being cleared out for you. Uh, it's always to carve, even if it's only 5 minutes in the morning or, whenever you feel that you're overwhelmed, go to the breath. And can you just take a few minutes for you where you just stop the phone? Because that's like a cell phone, it keeps your attention and really just sit with self. And if you feel emotions coming up, ask, what are you trying to show me? Is there something? And remember, emotions are energy in motion. And most of the time, I'll say, is this mine? Because sometimes it's not even mine. I may be out in public and I'm picking up other people's things. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nah, Shay, good. Absolutely, you need to forgive yourself. When you forgive yourself and you find that unconditional love for self, everything shifts. Love all of you. Nobody's perfect, and what's that anyway? Okay, we're gonna go over to Andrea. Yes, stiff neck. Don't go to the store, just take some regular salt. Just get some salt in if you can. Don't go to the store right now and drink a lot of water. And yep, tears are a really good release. Remember that. We are meant to cry. We often suck it up way too much, which just stuffs down more emotions, right? Those energies in motion. They come and they go, kind of like your thoughts. They come and they go, and you can choose to just observe those, or you can make a story about them and then kind of like grab them and hang on to them. So, yeah, I'll have a thought if you're with a group of people, maybe you know some and you don't know them all, and somebody says something and you pick it up a specific way and then you start making a story around it. Well, you don't know for a fact that that's what they meant. Yeah, absolutely. Andrea, crying is a release. Anything what we resist persists. So if we hate crying, it's probably going to keep coming up until we accept and love it and love all of us. Yeah. And being tired is your body telling you, hey, we need some rest. Absolutely. So don't be afraid to have a nap. You'll always feel better when you wake up, especially with a headache and neck pain. Absolutely. All right, let's go over to digestive issues. So, a couple things come up as I tap into that. One is, if you can, intermittent fasting. So, delaying breaking your fast. They call it breakfast. You break your fast. I don't eat. Today wasn't until 2 p.m. and then some fruit. And today I was craving salt, so I did have a few chips. See, I'm not whatever perfect is. Even I eat salt and vinegar chips. I love them, but really good ones. um, so, also with digestive, intermittent fasting, lots of water. Here's my take on water. And again, this is just all my experiences that I've picked up and tried and learned. Water should be had at least 8 to 16 ounces when you first rise. With a little lemon juice would be great. It will flush out the digestive tract. And by flushing out the digestive tract before you have coffee, you're not dehydrating yourself or tea. So this water first thing and let that run through 20 minutes, half an hour. And then before each meal, so I call it front loading, or yeah, front load water. So I drink quite a bit of water while I'm intermittent fasting, so I'm getting my body really quite saturated. And if you're finding that you're drinking water, but it's really just sloshing around in your stomach, or you're peeing right away, as you consume more water, you will urinate more, and always high quality water. You can put a amethyst stone, I don't have one in here right now, amethyst stone, and I put it in my water, container, and that helps to get into the cells, but so does something called cell salts, and that's not salt at all. There's these little tablets that one takes to assist the cells in gaining more nutrients. So that transfer of information as we progress in this life, we tend to have a buildup in our system. And so things aren't digested as well, could be toxins in the body, doesn't digest as well. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm sharing my experience. And so this combination with things, but cell salts helps deliver it into the cells. So back to the water. So lots of water. And then about half an hour before eating, no more water. If you can drink no water while you're eating, and this will be a challenge for many because we weren't taught that, or just little sips, because once you get the food into your stomach, your digestive juices they're activated by your mouth, by eating the food, by smelling the food. And then if you're drinking water, God forbid something sugary, you're saturating those juices. Now that food's gotta they gotta digest the liquid first and then the food. It takes longer and you're not getting as many nutrients. Those are just some of the little things that I do. And then I try and wait half an hour after I eat. What you will find is you tend to now lean towards juicier foods or more thirst quenching foods. And so remembering too that quite often people think they're hungry when they're really just thirsty. So depending on how much your weight is, you can look up a ratio for how much water you should be drinking. And then it also depends on your activity level. How much are you perspiring to help the system? Also very good for the lymphatic to be moving the body. If you are stagnant and sitting all the time, those rebounders you see people on Hey It Works, or just jumping in a spot, or qigong or tai chi or yoga or a brisk walk outside, whatever floats your boat. All right. So there's some stuff around the digestive. Don't be afraid to do an elimination diet. Take things out of the body, out of your diet. You can cut out sugar, dairy, and wheat. Those tend to be the most common. And yeah, what else? The parasite cleanse keeps coming up. Oh, that might not be for you. That might be somebody else. All right, Kathy, let me know if some of that resonates for you. And I'm just doing something really specific for you. You might feel a little movement in the digestive tract or in the stomach. There's something else. Okay, tell me. So I get messages. We actually all do. You're all able to tap in the way I do. We all have this gift. We just don't learn to follow that nudge. It's that little voice that is so subtle and kind that often doesn't sound like a thought you would normally have. Yeah. Getting it's more food related for you, Kathy. And that definitely intermittent fasting would help. And then you can build up. So there is a way of adding maple syrup to lemon water. It's called the Master Cleanse. I don't necessarily recommend going whole hog into something like this because you do a saltwater enema every morning, but you can do steps of it. And if you get hungry, put a little like raw maple syrup. You could also use Honey? No, not honey. Just the maple syrup. What else could be used? You could use honey if it needed to be honey, but good quality honey. Okay. And melt that in there. You can even do a little bit warm, maybe a little bit of ginger. So, in supporting our system, and I was with Barbara O'Neill on a live one time, and I was asking her because of this drink. This is fresh pressed, cold pressed ginger, fresh turmeric, lemon juice, water, and it also has cayenne and pepper in it. And so what this does is allows me, and if I get hungry, I just put a little maple syrup in there, and it's fantastic. Yes, cafe. Thank you, 25. Concentrates, 40,000 trace minerals. Yeah, Shishali as well has many trace minerals, a good quality one. But yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, trace minerals and water. Sometimes if you're doing a cleanse, charcoal can be beneficial with a little lemon. So I know you can buy those at some of the juice stores, and that can be very beneficial. So we're really on about health today, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was over on. We're learning how to be on multiple platforms at the moment. So absolutely. Nature always nurtures. Absolutely. Love it. Okay. All right. And what's my feeling? Not a big fan of Shay's asking, what's your feeling on stevia? I'm not a big fan. I would rather have cane sugar or monk fruit or honey or maple syrup. That one doesn't sit, I don't like the taste of it. So if I don't like the taste of it, that's my body going, we don't like this, in my opinion. Yeah. Ah, there we go. And not everyone can have onions. Absolutely. Yeah. And borax. Now, those of you who have never heard of this might think we're a little crazy, but baking soda, ingesting baking soda and borax a little bit because it's got boron in it, and at least it's not coming from a company with that we don't know what's in it, right? So, yeah, Shay, if you can't have sugar and you don't mind stevia, go ahead. There's also monk fruit can be used as a sweetener, and there's another syrup. What's the other syrup, guys? Not maple syrup. Ah, agave. Agave is also a good sweetener. So it depends on what you're doing. Yeah. Kathy, thank you. Kathy says, I've done some of those things. We'll try the others. Yeah, absolutely. And remember, Kathy, there's likely, okay, so this is the book that I always talk about. It's Yvette Rose, Metaphysical Anatomy. And let me see what happens when I look up digestive, because I'm just not remembering because I haven't had it for a little bit. So everyone that I've given this to is always said, oh yeah, that resonates. So let's see what happens. Just have to get to the right one. Almost there. We're at ease. That's a good sign. That feels a little better. Or all of you are actually feeling a little bit better. Yeah, Laura says monk fruit does not leave any aftertaste like stevia. It's even sweeter. Yeah, I use it as a partial sugar replacement. Shh, don't tell my daughter. Doesn't know. I know. She always busts me though. I'm live right now. You just don't know that I replace some of the things in sweeteners. I just got busted live. Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing digestive here right now, so I will post that in the Telegram group. If you're not part of the Telegram group, please feel free to below the show notes. There is a link there for Tanya and Norma Inner Collective on Telegram, and that's a chat for everyone to talk everything spiritual. And you're welcome to join us there. So we have a few new people in. Let's do some grounding. Again, it's Tanya. We're having conversations around health a lot today, and the physical body. and things that we can do to better it. So, yeah. Straight up monk fruit is so expensive, Shay says. Interesting. Yeah, Andrea. Yeah, busted. She's got big ears, man. That kid's got big ears. Like her room's like way across from mine. Yeah. Thoughts on nicotine. Awesome, Kathy. Yeah, so keep an eye on there and I'll post it in there. Nicotine. I think if it is a natural occurring, and there's many foods with nicotine in it, or it's a organically, beautifully grown tobacco being used in ceremonial ways, or it's even smoked in a pipe versus with filters and stuff, I don't have a huge issue with that. I think it depends on the person and what kind of condition they're in and what are their beliefs around it. Because remember, we have our thoughts and our emotions that create our beliefs, and then our beliefs, become confirmations, and then we stick into this reality of that we've created this construct around us that we believe things. And one of the biggest things for me during my initial expansion was realizing that a lot of what I've been taught or the way I've been raised. Now, I've always been a bit of a black sheep. I always never really fit in, and now I know why. But it was like, "Oh, that's not even true. I can let that go." And now I know if something is true or not by the reaction my body has to it. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Sharon. How are you? You're welcome, love. Absolutely. I think I got my monk fruit, very reasonably, so I don't use a ton of it, but depends on how much baking you do. Cane sugar, or, if you're avoiding it, use the stevia. Yeah, it all depends on you and your reaction to having it, whether or not it resonates for you. Yeah, absolutely. Lion's mane tremella. Yes. Over on Instagram for the win. Tremella was the other mushroom. Thank you. I love it when people know things that I don't know, right? Or can remember things and trigger for me. Tremella. Yes. I love it. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Tremella. Tremella. So over on Savory, which is an island, um, down the coast from Vancouver, down across the Sunshine Coast, and then another ferry over to Earls Cove, and then Powell River, and then you get on a water taxi, and we get to go over to this beautiful island. And I met Tiffany there, and Tiffany works for this beautifully grown, organically grown mushroom company. And we had a huge conversation around mushrooms because most of the mushrooms we see out in any company's packaging is coming from them. And so I got right to the source. And so I will also post in the group the name of that business that you can order directly from, and there's no fillers, there's nothing. It usually comes in a powder, so you can just get it straight up. And obviously, the price was very good. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, Andrea, I'll check that message later. Thank you. What else is going on, guys? Let's see. So, even though at this time and space, the world may feel a little chaotic, you have all the love and peace within you. So, if we just close our eyes for a moment, please, and take some of those nice deep breaths, maybe put your hands on your heart. And as you breathe, bring your thoughts, your mind, if you can, your consciousness down to where your hands are. And feel that in and out breath. This is your body. This is your mind. You have choice. And right now you can say, I am love. And as you go out in the world, what would love do? What would love do for you? not relying on someone else. Love is not an emotion. Love is a state of being. For when we realize that we are all intricately connected, that when we treat others the way we would like to be treated, that we treat nature the way we would like to be treated, with love and kindness, compassion, and realize that you have no idea what somebody else might be going through or their upbringing, and that they are just reacting, responding, acting out based on their experiences and way of being. It's all part of their upbringing. And so I have compassion. It doesn't mean I'm going to go over and rescue them. It means I'm going to say, hey, I see you. Yeah. Do you need to talk about it? Is there something you can talk about? For when we speak to another in a kind way and we ask questions, don't try and save them, just listen. For when someone feels heard and seen, your hearts will connect. And when your hearts connect and they start to share with you, you could, what I hear you saying is, and then ask some clarifying questions. We suddenly have a different connection. We're human to human, we're soul to soul. For we all want the same things: health, peace, harmony, connection, food, shelter. We all want the same thing, yet there's so much division in this world. And I'm sending so much love to all of you right now. If there is division within you right now, this is your opportunity to find peace within yourself. It is your birthright. Nobody's going to love you the way you can love yourself. And when you love yourself, the rest of the world will show up differently for you and expand differently. So choose you. Choose love. Now I'm just bringing in energy again through the top of my head. I always like to share with what's going on and sending it out through my heart and my hands at this time. And may everyone have all the healing that they need. And please, you may ask for help from any angel, my angels, higher angels, any angel hanging out looking for something to do. Can you come hang out with me, please? I could use some love. You can ask for guidance. Please show me a sign today. Please show me white feathers. Please show me butterflies, hummingbirds, whatever you choose. Choose small and then go bigger. Ask questions. Oh, I'm going to surrender this question because I don't know the answer. And I'd love to know the answer to this question. Please show me how I can heal blank. Please show me how I can attract more of blank. Andrea, the energy is making me feel high right now. Yeah, absolutely. It can do that. I'm showing your energy what feeling healthier and whole feels like, what this love vibration can feel like. And then once you lift up to this level, you're going to want to stay. And then can you lift up even more and even more? Once you start going up, you might bob a little bit, but it's onwards and upwards. For every tool you get, there's a new perspective to be had. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So Cafe asked for some healing on a horse. It's back on his feet and doing better. Beautiful. We love hearing success stories. Prayer is powerful. Sending healing love is powerful. Yes, Shay, ask ask with love and have gratitude. Do you know the easiest way to shift your energy is to show up with a little bit of gratitude? Gratitude will go a long, long way for making you feel better, not only in yourself, but raising your vibration and lifting up others too. Yeah. I have many things. I opened the door the other day and there was a hummingbird like right in front of me. I'm like, hey, I think I scared it when I opened the door, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Love and kindness. Mm, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. And just know as we go through the rest of this week, as we shift away from this full moon, super moon, we've got many more coming up. Rest. You are so blessed to be able to rest. Don't forget, it's okay. It's the last time you just sat and read a book or sat and gazed at a fire or candle. It's beautiful ways of connecting. Absolutely. Still something else. Hold on. So for somebody that's there that's not speaking, just sending you a little extra love. Some of you have some heartache. Somebody's let you down, which could be all of us, really, right? This is recent and it's a little bit sharp still. So yeah, do something for you and have that gratitude for self. Don't block. Don't shut down because of somebody else's, I want to say, attack, verbal. Shine your light brighter so the shield around you becomes stronger and stand in love. Stand in that state of being. Cafe over on Rumble says the secret to living well and longer is eat half. So eat half of what you should think you should be eating, walk double, laugh triple, and love without measure. Yeah, be in that love vibration. Okay, there's still something else to come in. Okay, let's talk a little bit about love and soul family. So, as a soul on this space at this time, you've got connections with other people that you don't know yet, but they're coming. And you got to put yourself out there to meet them. They're not going to find you otherwise. And so don't be afraid to get out of the house a bit. And remembering that as we go out, we may be triggered. But every trigger is a gift to know what you need to work on for yourself because everyone out there is a mirror for you and what you're going through or where you're at. And so walking around in a bubble of love is very helpful in this case, but also that, if you're not getting out and meeting new people or getting online and connecting with new people, if you have an intuitive hit to go for a walk in the woods someday, right? Try and follow those little nudges because they're going to lead you to your soul family. Absolutely. There's lots of people I've met, and for me, a lot of it was in my painting company that I have the ability to connect with people that I didn't even know I could connect with, and then we'd be friends and friends for a long time. It's quite fascinating. Yeah. And that love state of being, that love vibration. Now, one cannot sit and vibrate super high all the time. You will find it bobs and weaves. And then again, there's that beautiful neutrality. There was a point during the process, and here's how the process went for me. Something's not right. What's going on in this world? What am I really here for? Like, who am I? To, oh, look what's going on in the world right now. And then you're looking for truth, and then you find the truth, and then you rabbit hole. And then eventually I pulled back out, but I kept going with, okay, so what can I control? What can I do? And I've taken that, and as much as, you know, somebody's in school and studying full time, working on energy, working on light, because for every angle, there's different vibrations of light. We only see from infrared over to X ray. There's a huge amount of light that we don't get to see. There's a huge amount going on that we don't perceive with these eyes, but we can feel them, or we can sense them, or we can see them in our third eye. We all have gifts and skills that we're not fully aware of yet that are coming online at this time. Many more dreams. Write your dreams down. Ask questions. Yeah. And that neutrality state came along, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have any emotions. What happened? What's going on? Because to be void of emotion was very strange because I'd never felt that before. But it's part of the process so that I knew what neutral felt like, to not be non reactive, to not be triggered, to be the eye of the storm, or to be, to hold my own, to know that my energy is my energy. And I'm very, very cautious about what I'm willing to put energy into, because once you do, where energy, where attention goes, energy flows and it grows. So I'm very cautious about even what I'll comment online. Yeah. So on other people's posts, especially. So I'm much more of an observer, observing the collective to see where they're at. I get a good read. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on right now. And then let's just send anything that you're feeling in your body, send it down to your feet, to Mother Earth. If you go barefoot on Earth and you're grounding, you can just ask to simply have anything taken away that no longer serves you. Laura, for your hip, you can, if you can, lie down on Earth or get your feet on Earth. Foot bath, even magnesium may help you at this time. And just have some extra love. Send extra love there. You can rub your hands together and ask for activate, and hold it there and just breathe into it. And now if you want to try this and you rub your hands together and you bring your hands closer and apart, it's to show you that you have energy, and then can you grow it? Can you make it bigger? Can feel it all the way out. Yeah. It's playing with it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Well, we didn't know we had it. So it's beautiful to keep growing it, right? And so it's something important for me to continue to grow. I'm going to leave you guys now, but I'm leaving you bathed in love. And anybody that listens to this recording before or after will also be feeling the healing. If you feel you need healing, you can simply turn it on. There's many videos on YouTube around some trauma healing, body pain. There's quite a few over there too. So there's some other healing recordings I've done. And again, we've got membership for those of you who might be interested. Everybody who signs up for the newsletter right now, at the end of the month, we do a draw each month. So we're doing it again for September. I don't know if we'll do it for October yet, but you get a 1 hour free with me. And our previous winner is already booked. Sherry's already booked. Very excited for that. And there's also on the website, you can do a free 30-minute session with me. Put energy in the comments and I'll send you the link for that. And yeah, I am here to help through this transformational time on Earth, to remind you of who you truly are. And first starts the healing, and we heal. And then we become a bright light that we may shine for others. everybody's always still healing. There's nobody ever done, check. It is always part of a process until we leave this body. And so I would highly recommend that as you lift others up, when you're strong and you're feeling bright, lift others up. Lift others up, for you never know the difference you can make in a soul's day by being loving, kind, and compassionate. I love you. Have a beautiful day. And